On that note, so why can't regulated industries afford API testing mistakes, or indeed, kind of software development, software testing mistakes? Strict compliance mandates for API security across and data security across these types of industries. So your banks and your financial institutions are going to be quite closely monitored, by kind of regulatory authorities, governments, and indeed, the public and public sentiment. So mistakes are quite costly, especially issues that involve insecure data or data breaches. And these breaches can cost quite a lot of money. I know we had that IBM slide earlier on, or that IBM stat earlier on. And from that same report, I found an interesting little tidbit, that the more records involved with a breach, and I think the number they chose was 50 million plus records, meant give or take $375 million of cost. So, the more records exposed, the higher that cost goes up. So they can be quite costly. And then to get more specific about today's topic, SaaS solutions, whether it's testing solutions or otherwise, they can introduce data exposure risks. So, trust me when I say, SmartBear, we're a software, vendor. We're B2B. We deal with a lot of businesses and companies who are, looking to purchase software off us, use our software. A lot of it is SaaS based, and some of them are on-prem. But I've definitely seen an uptick in recent, maybe last year or 2 years in, you know, prospective users asking a lot of questions about where data is hosted for a SaaS solution, or how it's encrypted, or, it's clear, even just anecdotally, that, these conversations are happening more frequently in organizations that are looking at tools like SmartBear's tools. So, cloud-based testing solutions might introduce data exposure risks, as indeed might any cloud-based solution. So, what are some of the benefits of keeping things on premise? First and foremost, right, an on-prem solution, your data is within your own network. So you can eliminate a lot of external access risks, because you're not exposed to the internet. So if you're in an air-gapped environment, if your network is on-prem, or if your solution is on-prem on your own network, you're reducing the amount of potential traffic from the public internet, to close to zero. You're reducing third-party access, which reduces the risk of API test data leaks. I think most organizations, regulated industries and otherwise, or especially in regulated industries, will have more confidence in the fact that they know and they understand their own network security, and they feel more confidence in having their data on their own premises. And you can see an example stat there on the bottom from the Financial Services Information Sharing and Analysis Center. 90% of financial institutions prioritize on-prem solutions for security.